Just 5 shows into the 2024 Dave Matthews Band European Tour, we have 64 songs that have been played. Last time they came to Europe, there was exactly the same amount. Excuse me. Let's start this over. I'll edit this out. When Dave Matthews Band first came to Europe in 2019, they started off on an 18-song. All right, we're going to stop this. All right, don't worry. All this will be edited out before this. All right, let's try this again. 5 shows into the 2024 Dave Matthews Band Spring 2024 European Tour, the band has played 65 unique songs. The last time they toured in Europe in 2019, through 18 shows, a full tour in Europe, they played the same amount of songs. This band is expanding their catalog and giving each European tour stop a unique feeling, introducing new songs along with some classics, and even more tour debuts came here in Stockholm, Sweden. The DMB post-show stream starts now with some of your reactions to a question that Tyler Hensley had for all of us. If you could pick 5 Dave Matthews Band songs to be at every single show you go to, which 5 would you choose?
How is it that you and me can crowd inside such a place, and at the same time, it turns out we disgrace ourselves? You more play with your gun and your bomb again. Oh, aeroplane, you gain my respect. Oh, but the bomb from your bellies I regret. Oh, a rocket full of fireworks, so I celebrate. Oh, and the rocket into the moon, I celebrate. Oh, but the rocket to the city and to the homes that we hold sacred. Oh, I condemn you, rocket, to burn your burning hell. See the way you light and you come shining. More regret into the violence you design. Mental everything I'm needing is you. And everything we need is in you too, goes away. Oh, don't push away. Boys and toy soldiers. Boys and toy soldiers. Boys and toy soldiers. Dip on the grave.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play.
Sweden, what up? Shout out Hendrik Lundqvist. Shout out Peter Forsberg. Shout out Ulf Samuelsson, just naming some NHL players from Sweden. Shout out Swedish Fish. Let's go Huskies. Happy 10th birthday, Mason S. Shout out Max for the poster. F4D Studios, they on the come up. John Calipari's a cheater. Memphis. UMass. How you gonna lose at Kentucky and you still cheating is legal? Shout out Dan Hurley. Shout out Tyler Olander. Tyler Olander has more championships than Jim Boeheim. What up, what up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Thank you guys for joining the DMB post-show stream. Appreciate it here. This show was phenomenal. I was able to listen in and out for some of the stuff here. Big ups to all the DMB fans that were checking out that eclipse. That is a rare thing. Just a special moment. I know some of y'all drove up north. Shout out to all my DMB fans in New Hampshire and Buffalo as well. Y'all had everyone coming to y'all. Vermont, people was coming to you. I know D-Rock's out there and Justin. And I'm sure y'all, yeah, there was a lot of people out there looking at the sky with you. A very unique moment, just like DMB shows. And DMB experience is like going to a place like Europe or going to see the band in a unique setting you can't knock it until you actually do it. And that's why this perspective is important for these European shows. I see a lot of people kind of play hating on the eclipse, saying, oh, you're looking at the sun and all this stuff. And they weren't there. Y'all was somewhere else in the country where there was no eclipse. But for the people that I've talked to, some of them even from the DMB community, from our friends on Wine on Main and Concord, New Hampshire, Emma and the rest of her family and some other people in New Hampshire, they saw it. And you know, I talked to our favorite taper, Zach S., and I saw Anthony, who's been on the show. Shout out to him. Anthony drove from Connecticut up to Vermont last minute and said it was worth every impulse that got him up there. And so you have people who didn't see this eclipse and have never seen an eclipse in person, who are, some of them are player hating, but the people who were there are just, many of them who aren't easily impressed, who have seen a lot in their life, were amazed at this unique once-in-a-lifetime event when you had near 100% viewability of this special event. Let's go ahead and get over to the set list. And like I said, 65 unique songs in segues for 2024 Europe tour, 5 shows in. We go up to 2019 on this DMB Almanac webpage. Shout out to the Almanac. And there were 65 different songs played across 364 song performances. That was the full 2019 European Spring Tour. Now, unique songs don't always mean everything. The best eras of this band, there were tons of repeats in between. Many of you guys experienced those shows. Late 90s, that even as the catalog expanded, you still had a bunch of songs that just were never played from the classic era of the band and some of their staple albums. Not many number 34s, not many Let You Downs. So even in the best eras, sometimes if you have a bunch of good songs, as the band did in its prime, you don't have to play out the full catalog to get people nuts. But I think what's important about now that the band has had a bunch of albums post-Roy, now that they've expanded that catalog even more, we saw in the fall of last year, 2023, this band went pretty much 2 shows and a half or a show and a half without any repeats. I think it was 2.5 shows without a repeat. And I think this is the time, if any, this is the best time for the band to start expanding that catalog. Now, you saw in Vegas, you saw in Tempe, you even saw for the first show in Europe, this band has to get a rhythm, right? Step one is they always have to get a rhythm. Those first shows of the year, for people who don't care about song selection, or that's the only show of the year, they're going to have a ball, right? But for people who when you go to more shows, it's a better likelihood that you may lean towards the fact that you want more unique songs, or you want certain songs in and certain songs out. Not everyone. Some people go to 300 shows and they like every song the band plays. They can play the phone book. If that's how you enjoy DMB, that's fine. But as people get more and more shows under their belt, or have limited amount of money to spend on shows, they want this variety as one of the factors. Now, if we go to the show, forget variety. What were we talking about today? We were talking at the intro. Hey, pick 5 songs you would hear every single show and you would be happy, excited. And people put their submissions in. We'll look at a couple in a little bit that I couldn't add in. There were so many of you guys, which is awesome, that I had ran out of time and space in the intro video to put it in. But this show has a So Right tour debut. Funny the Way It Is tour debut. Between those 2 songs, you're going to grab a good chunk of any crowd, and they're going to like one of those songs. Many fans joined during the Big Whiskey era, which is a testament to this band's popularity, that deep into the career in the mid/late 2000s, fans hopped on from just Big Whiskey. Forget Under the Table, all that other stuff. Some of them weren't even born when Under the Table dropped, but they were old enough to have Big Whiskey. So you have two different songs from two different eras, 01 and 09, to start off as back-to-back tour debuts. Old Dirt Hill has been something since Guilford, New Hampshire, that I really saw them really trying to bring in. Guilford, New Hampshire 2023. And now you have a second of the tour. You get Ocean and the Butterfly, newer song, which I love, Fool to Think, Digging a Ditch. These are all great songs that people really will chase for years to see live. Or for last year, people wanted to hear Ocean and the Butterfly. Shout out to D-Rock out in Buffalo, New York. That's one of his, I think that's his favorite song off Walk Around the Moon. The Stone, of course, y'all know me. Y'all know how I feel about The Stone. I don't need to say that. And then It Could Happen, which is a special gem from Walk Around the Moon. I think it's really, really a special gem. Some people don't like it. Yeah, I get why. But there are people who really like this song. And I'm included in that. So a lot of different things happen. The other thing that even talking about repeats, there was only one song repeated from last night in Oslo, Norway. And that song was Madman's Eyes, which has been played every single tour stop. It's a song that the band holds in their heart, reflective of how Dave feels about the modern times. Even a couple of shows ago, talking about how he feels the people that are running the show, he doesn't trust them, or he doesn't like the people that are running the show. And you take that as you may, and he kind of wish other people had control over what's going on in this world. But these Walk Around the Moon songs, to me, everyone has their own opinion, but these Walk Around the Moon songs, when they're added into Setlist, to me, are much better than the Come Tomorrow songs being played 5 songs through. Now, Come Tomorrow has been played frequently throughout Setlist this year and this tour. So it's not gone away completely, like Away from the World kind of just dipped. When Come Tomorrow came out, you didn't really see a lot from it. Some songs still have yet to be played in this Come Tomorrow at Buddy Strong era that were played in 2012, 2013, 2014. And then kind of just disappeared but after 2016. But I think Walk Around the Moon, to me, makes all the difference. What you put in between Walk Around the Moon, these last couple of shows, everyone has different preferences, but these Walk Around the Moon songs are fitting into the set list. And you got to credit this band because they learned from early 2023 where there were some shows where the momentum died down. And they cut some songs after everything has not been played as much. My guess is because it just is hard to execute. You've seen Madman stick around. Walk Around the Moon, to me, still bussin'. Okay, some people don't like it. That's fine, right? You're sick of it. You want the clap. But Walk Around the Moon, to me, still is bussin'. It Could Happen. That's a song I could really listen to almost every show. Madman's, I get why people may not like that as much. I'm kind of wishing it does get pushed back when it comes stateside. But this is Europe. Europe needs to experience this, I believe, because it is something that everyone should be able to experience in the DMB universe. Whether you're in Europe, whether if they do an Australia tour, I hope they can do Australia. Shout out to my folks in Down Under, Haley, and I know there's some other Australian fans who are eagerly awaiting for the band to come back first time since the pandemic. But I think it's important for Madman's Eyes to be in there, even though me personally, I want it away. It is important for this. Let's go ahead and listen to Kumi. Now, this is a 2-part interview. I got to shout out Kumi because the Wi-Fi in his Airbnb is like 2003 Wi-Fi, 2004 Wi-Fi, right? When only like the best Apple computers had Wi-Fi, laptops had that Wi-Fi back in them days. Few people had access to it. It is bust down Wi-Fi, but he got it in 2 different parts. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and play that part 1, and then we'll get to part 2. It'll just seamlessly transition from one part to the next part. Here is Kumi DMB talking about the Stockholm, Sweden show that he went to.
What's up? It's Kumi, also known as DMB fan JTR. I'm recording this for Concert Vids 34 stream on the April 8th, 2024 Stockholm show. What a show. That set list was crazy. The venue was crazy too. It was a really small venue. I think I sent Marcus a picture or two pictures of it from the outside. It looks kind of, it definitely looks small. I think it was smaller than my high school auditorium, to be honest. I mean, the set was incredible though. I mean, the acoustics were great in there. As soon as I got in there, I got there after doors opened, I guess technically after doors opened. Doors opened at 6:30, I got there around 6:40 or so. The merch line was super long. I sent Marcus a picture of that as well. You could see they were selling, obviously today's poster, but also Cologne's poster was there, and Oslo's poster was also there. I have not seen the Europe tour poster since probably Cologne. I didn't see it in Oslo at all. And it wasn't there today either. But the poster was really cool. I really liked it. I thought it was the coolest poster of the tour, for sure. It's definitely a cool color, and I think it's a cool theme as well. Obviously, like, Scandinavia is known for the Vikings, and this is a Viking ship, like a ghost Viking ship, so it's a pretty cool design, and I can't wait to get this one up. I did end up getting it also. The venue was really interesting. The pit was, I was in the pit, I was sitting in a seat. They had like two balconies on the side, and like, it was one connected balcony, I guess, but there's two different entrances. There was like a side balcony and like the main balcony. I was in the middle of the balcony. I was actually sitting on an aisle seat, probably, like, if you're looking at the stage, like, it's straight back from Stefan. So there was a pole. I don't know if you see any of my Instagram videos, you can see there's a pole in my view, so I couldn't see Rashawn most of the night, but they moved around a lot, so I was able to catch them all. But the acoustics are great in there. Obviously, it's a small venue, so the sound quality was pretty, it was pretty loud. And the show was just, I mean, the set list, I didn't think they were going to beat last night's set list, but they beat it. Like, The Stone, Fool to Think, It Could Happen, tour debut, Madman sounded great, Nancy sounded great. Don't Drink the Water sounded great. Closing with Grace Tree was also huge. Crush sounded great too. I think the loudest part the crowd got was during Crush. People really liked that song, obviously, and it was a well played rendition of it as well. It was super quiet during most of the show. I was sitting, like I said, and I did remain seated the entire time. I wanted to get up, but I asked the guy next to me. He was a Scandinavian older gentleman, and I was like, do people at most concerts, do they ever stand? And he kind of explained to me, like, it's not really a thing they do here. They stand at the beginning of the show and at the end of the show, kind of as like a standing ovation or whatever, right? So, but he did say that if I wanted to stand, I could go to the aisle, like, and stand in the stairwell, which was an option. But some people were definitely getting funky in the aisle. There was a couple of people that were definitely breaking it down, and I was really happy for those people. It seemed like some of these people hadn't seen Dave in years, so they're getting really excited for it. Another thing I wanted to add was when I got there, like, obviously the merch line was super long, but once they were, I guess there was an opening area where there was like a bar, and you could, like, there was merch outside, kind of outside the seating and standing area, but inside the venue, right? the seating and standing area was still closed off until 7, and the hallway was just packed. I sent Marcus a couple videos. There was a huge line to get into the pit, and there's huge lines to get up to the balcony, and it was confusing because like there's 4 different balcony entrances, and like your ticket told you which one you had to go to, and the lines were like on top of each other basically because they were so narrow. It was so narrow. It was such a small venue, like which is really cool because when else am I going to see Dave in a venue that small? Probably never. So that was really cool to be a part of. But yeah, it was chaotic when we got there. It was funny. I mean, it worked out, obviously. But yeah, my favorite song of the night, definitely The Stone. I mean, Full Things up there as well, but seeing The Stone, and there's just so much energy, and the crowd just kind of erupted for that song. Yeah, I think it was a great show overall. I mean, this kind of experience is one I don't take for granted.
And big game for UConn men's hockey. And I'm sorry, UConn men's hockey, UConn men's basketball. excuse me. Our hockey team is struggling right now. But this has been a great run for them. So we're gonna play some video from Kumi, and you guys are gonna be able to see that. This is from his IG story. While I do that, I'm gonna grab something I just got from Aria, and this is shout out to Aria. She's lives in the New York City metro area, and she's been traveling to certain DMB shows that give unique experiences. She went to South Africa. She's gone to Mexico before, and she also is now in Europe. And so she's tried to make it a point with her, with the hustle and bustle of life, to try to get to some of these special events, as she's just cleared the 100 show mark here. Not to as a flex, she's very humble. She would never hold that, but I'm just as a point of she's seen so much over the years, and now she is enjoying traveling with this band to unique stops, from Dave and Tim in Mexico to the full band in South Africa and Europe. You guys heard from her yesterday, and right now I'm going to read this straight off. I don't have the graphics here, but what she said here: lining up an entry was the same as always. No, nothing unusual, and we know sometimes this can vary in Europe. She says, very small venue with historical details that I appreciated. Outside merch booth with in and out privileges. Booth was inside the building, but before needing a ticket. So you had to show your ticket to get there. Didn't have a chance to talk to any of the Swedish fans, but the energy of the crowd was high. The set list was a good mix of high energy and some lower energy songs, but even the low energy songs were great. The stage was super low, and we could hear them talking. It was great for photos, but I felt self-conscious as I thought they would hear anything we said. So if you guys have ever been to SPAC, you guys know that stage is also very low, and you're very close, and there's actually not as much monitors. I don't even think there are monitors on that, so you're really just right at the band. So a very unique thing there. And I did see some of the photos Aria took here, and so she was really close, like you could see through Dave's guitar. So very cool experience. Interesting, she said that even though I think what makes a DMB show great is when you have a mix, but also the slower songs or the chiller songs still don't take the energy out the room. And Kumi also mentioned that this band in Europe, he had seats today, right? So he had physical seats today. You can see that pole right there he was talking about, but he pretty much had to sit. That's how they take in shows, and I think it's great. In some ways, this band is able to play some quieter things, but the fans still appreciate that. I have seen many times quieter songs, jazzier songs, not get as much love. Captain is one of those that stands out to me. I've been fortunate enough to see that a lot in the last 10 years. even though it's a rarity, and many times even at Hartford, right? Even at MSG, people don't, it like takes energy out the room. I love it. I'm sitting there quietly loving the song, but people just aren't rocking with it. So Europe is able to still appreciate those songs, and the songs they played that were more chill did not kill the vibes of what I believe are some great fans in Europe that take in the music, still may enjoy it, still have energy. But you look at what Aria said today, lives in Portugal. I'm sure London's going to be the same way, where these fans are just, they can be passionate but respectful, and they're not starting fights and yelling in the middle of songs and talking while Dave is talking. And I wish more of that was stateside here, although I do appreciate the energy of a SPAC. Sometimes, yeah, do that. Get the energy up, sing, right? Sing all you want, but stop talking when the band's talking. All right, so that's some stuff from Kumi that we have. And what I'm going to do is transition back to the set list here. So there we go. And like I said, I wanted to read off some of your guys' comments as well. But I want to go back to this. So if we even look at this set about the slower or quieter songs, right? I would say the first one is Looking for a Vein. But Looking for a Vein is sandwiched between Madman's and Fool to Think. Digging a Ditch has a Will It Go Round in Circles, which is what fans have been saying great things about, even fans who don't like covers. And then Crush. It Could Happen is in between the Stone and Break Free. And I thought one of the best runs of this show was the Stone to Break Free. Not that the other stuff isn't good, but like you have a song that I always love and two great songs with different energies, different perspectives from the new album that are great. So I thought that was a great thing there to see. And let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get to Tyler's comment and see some of these that I couldn't read them all off. We're going to get over to this. Oh yeah, okay. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share. Let people know, hey, this post-show stream has been upgraded. It's more about the fans. I'm not ranting about Bayou for 45 minutes. And let them know, hey, this thing is sharper. It's better, stronger, faster. Give it a listen. All right, so I'm trying to get to Tyler's page. He's got a lot of shout out to. He's probably watching Goose right now. There, he loves Goose. I'm trying to sort through all this to get to his question. Oh, you know what I can do? I'm gonna go to my page and see where I quoted him. And while I'm doing that, let's show you guys here. This was me. The Stone tour debut in Stockholm. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out. There. But let's go ahead and here's some pictures from Twitter of yesterday's poster being over there. Europe, the posters aren't going to be as big of a thing. And we'll talk about posters in a second. Here's the exterior of the venue. This is, again, Kumi DMB sent this to me. If you're not on Twitter and didn't see this, beautiful, beautiful venue. Here is some of the merchandise. Posters, just over $40 with the exchange rate. Right? Just around $42, $43, depending on how you got your money. All right, so here is what Tyler did. You saw some of these. Let me see where I kind of had to cut back. I couldn't get everyone. I think it was Jay Pitts, Crash, Crush, Ants, You and Me and Satellite. 5, you could hear it every show. Jared, 41, People, Seek Up Stone, 2-Step. Kelsey, Rapunzel, Ants, Gray Street Granny, Boa. But also, she put a hole in the list there. And it's hard, man. It's hard picking 5, man. There's like 5 or 6 songs. I mean, there's probably like 10 songs minimum that I can hear every show. Obviously, you can't hear them all at the same show, but there's certain songs that I just absolutely love. You guys can see some of these here. Check out the thread on Twitter. Gray Street, Shake Me, Spaceman 41, Ants. And the thing is, again, I appreciate you guys submitting what y'all felt. And even if I don't like some of the songs, like I don't like You and Me, but people put it at their wedding, right? Crush, Don't Drink So Right, Die Trying, 2-Step. So you guys can check that out. What I want to do next is get to the poster and get that on. I've said this all along, F4D Studios. It's phenomenal. They are phenomenal, and looks like they had one of these flying bolt themes, which I've seen from other poster creators. It has been a popular theme for other posters in the past across many different bands, and I thought this was a great poster, probably the best of the tour. So I thought this had the show of the tour so far, and the best, in my opinion, right? How I would take in a show, and then the poster that I would buy the most likely to buy. Max is phenomenal. He's part of F4D Studios, so Max 242, and I believe they should be the Methane. This band relied on Methane to make a lot of the early posters, filling in gaps at that time that they needed. And I think that F4D Studios has done a phenomenal job of taking a little bit more responsibility in the last couple of years, especially last year, and they've done great. They've knocked these out of the park. Absolutely knocked them out of the park. That's really all I have. Let me just check the chat, see if anyone's saying anything. Another thing that Aria just put in was that the sound seemed odd at the venue. Now, on the couch tour, a couple people were really close in that pit area, like Aria was. And sometimes you can hear Tim's rig if you're on, even if you're just like to the left of just slightly to the left of the microphone stand Dave is at, you're going to hear that electric guitar, that Mesa amp rig that Tim has. Sometimes. But in intimate venues, and if the stage is really low, it's much more of a possibility. So it did sound like Tim was stronger in the couch tour mix, and it's harder when this band is playing with not their full, they don't have all of their equipment that they have stateside. Not all of it comes over. JL Ego says, go UConn, yes sir. And says the Stone could be played every concert. And so sometimes you are going to get unique sounds. You're going to get some interesting things there. And that's just what it is. And I think we've heard Kumi in previous interviews talk about how it was challenging to hear the sound, and they had some sound challenges. It appeared they were trying to fix the sound and things like that. And that's just what it is. But when you have a show like this, has such a great set list and has such a great variety. Forget the set list preferences, but the variety, that's always going to stick, even with some of the challenges. And as I've always said, throughout this tour, I've tried to say this is a hard band to mix. All of the different instruments you have, and from pretty much every song. There's not many songs where Sean takes off, so it's hard to have all these mics up and go into different rooms and have back-to-back nights and get everything perfect. Where in the States, they go to the same sheds, certain sheds every year. Some of these amphitheaters, they know them, and then you have amphitheaters that have great sound, like a Blossom, a SPAC, an Alpine, and the sound engineers and the guys controlling the sound have experience with these venues already. They know what to do. There you have it. So we're going to end this with Walk Around the Moon in honor of the eclipse. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back Wednesday. Wednesday's probably going to be another later show. Stay tuned. And by late, I mean 7, 8 o'clock at night on Wednesday. It's your boy Conservates34. Peace.
I found a stranger walking in the woods. She was not quite like anyone I knew. Red dress, polka dot, shadows in her hair. She said, you take me and I take you there. Now she's going round and round inside of my head. I think I'm just a little too close to the edge. You took everything from me, and now I'm falling into this never-ending sea. I know you got your best to give to me. You know you hold me up. I know it seems that I have crossed into a dream since I've been flying so fly. Big stack, jump back, crumble into here, boy. Good boy, won't stay as high as your eyes. It's stirred, twisted, my love to fly, but I wanted for you to give a little bit of everything. I know you got your best to give to me. You know you hold me up. I know it seems that I have crossed into a dream since I